Was talking to a radio personality recently who asked me about storytelling, and the question came up about if there needs to be conflict introduced for a story to be effective. The short answer is yes, but you also have to understand what conflict is. Every story needs to create curiosity. What's going to happen next? How's this going to turn out? In other words, there has to be emotional tension created so the audience is curious about it and they feel like they're a part of it, like they have an investment in it, or there's something at stake and they can identify and relate to a character or a situation that's happening in the story. Now, you might call that conflict, but I don't want you to think of it as conflict. I want you to think of it as friction. Friction can come from a different perspective, a different point of view, a dilemma that you have to solve. There's something that's happening that's between the thing that a character in the story wants and them achieving it. Because if there's no risk, if there's no friction, it's hard to have a positive outcome. Without friction, there's no connection. Without connection, there is no suspense. Without suspense, there's no curiosity or intrigue. Now, it doesn't have to be a big thing, but it does have to be present. And it has to be in just about every story that you tell. Even if you're doing like a good news feature, there's friction in a good news story. Because the good news is the surprise that happens from a difficult or a challenging situation, something unexpected. So as you're telling a story, as you're planning a story, as you're prepping it, as you're storyboarding it, getting it ready for use on the air, identify the emotional tension or the friction in the story as part of the premise when you're prepping it, and build your entire story around that concept.